So this here is what we call a stepper card. And it's called a stepper card because if you can see from the side, you've got the small step, and what it does is it kind of propels the front topper part of your card to the front. Now I've sized this perfectly so that the central part in the middle here is exactly A6, which means that if you are using an A6 creator card or any sort of A6 topper, you know this size card is going to fit perfectly. If you reference the instruction sheets, what you'll see is I've also done the measurements on how to create a stepper card so that you have an internal piece that's exactly 6 by 6, again, so it works great with our creator card dies. Now these are complex, the stepper cards, and there's a lot of measurements going about here, so it's probably great to cross-reference the instruction sheet that you can get by popping this DVD into your computer and printing it out. Cross-reference that as we're working along. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start with a sheet of A4 card, which I've cut down to 6 inches wide, okay? And you're going to place the long edge of the card right up against the butting surface, so that's where the handle is. Now we're going to score this first score line, but actually you're going to leave about an inch and start roughly an inch in. It doesn't need to be exact, but start roughly an inch in and go to just past halfway in the card. I'll turn that right around and do the same on the opposite corner. So again, finding the line about an inch in and going just past halfway, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it so that we've got this short edge against where the handle is, and in between the two lines that we've scored, I want you to score the very last line, which is your half fold A4. And what that does is that means that central part on the front of the card is exactly the A6 size, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this round and line up this edge against the line that we've just scored. So against the half fold A4. Then to create the step on the outer panels only, you're going to score the very next line along, which is the 5-inch square fold line, and the next one from that, which is the half fold A5. Do that on both sides, so you're coming in on the 5-inch square and you're coming in on the next line, which is half fold A5. Okay, now can you see my line doesn't quite line up here? We're going to go back and adjust that later. Then what I want you to do is take it down and just feel, so that you can feel the underneath of this score line is rested on this line, and it actually works out, if you've cut your card right, that you should be butting up against where the handle is. Then you're going to score the next line again, okay? And then just take them back on and put that score line right in up to your two lines, because I only just did it by eye, but you'll find the more often you do this, the easier it will become, okay? Then we're going to pop it onto a craft mat, and using your craft knife, we're going to cut from the edge of where these 2 points intersect to the edge of where these two intersect. So you can see we're coming right up here like this. Now I'm quite steady with a craft knife. If you're not, you might want to use a steel-edged ruler here, but you're cutting right up the centre of your score line, and then all we do is we fold these crease lines like this, and then these ones will fold outwards, okay, and we just burnish those crease lines again. And that is how you create a basic stepper with your A6 size on the inside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same technique again, but do it with a larger part in the inside for the 6 by 6. Now it's exactly the same technique, we're just using a full sheet of A4 this time. And we're going to do exactly the same technique. So bringing it in, resting up against the side, and you're going to score that first line from around about an inch up to just past halfway. And do that on both sides. Okay, then place the edge nearest to where you've done your score lines up against the handle, and in between the two score lines, score at the half fold A4. Okay, turn it right around, put this up here, and we're going to score the next two lines on both sides. Then we're going to put it up here and score the next line on the outer panels. Okay, then bringing it on, we're going to use that knife again to just cut between the panels. And like I said, the first few times you do this card, it's an awful lot of measurements to remember. But once you've mastered it and you've done it a few times, you'll find they get much easier and much quicker. And this size one here is perfectly sized to fit that A6 Creator card on the inside. So just burnishing those creases. And that is a basic course stepper. And whether you just choose to decorate it very simply as I've done here, or to cut the Creator card in the front, you can see either way, it makes a really great looking, quite exceptional card.